What is up, everybody? In today's extreme video, I'm going to be telling y'all how to fix a squeaky door. More specifically, how to lubricate the hinge and hinge pins to prevent your door from squeaking and the hinges from wearing out. Now, this is a very easy, simple project that almost anyone can handle. So, let's jump straight into today's tutorial. The first thing you're gonna need is a few tools and some oil. The good news is the tools are all pretty simple stuff you either A, already have in your house, B, can improvise around, or C, can easily be bought at any home improvement store or at a lot of just stores. It's very simple stuff. But let me get into the list of tools. First, you're gonna need some sort of hammer or some sort of other object you can bang at stuff with. You are also going to need some sort of variety of pliers. It can be larger pliers like this, or larger needle nose like this. But having a plier that is too large will still probably work, but it's nicer to have something around this size. You're also going to need a screwdriver of some sort. And last but not least, a small, thin screwdriver, or any old nail, or any other like punch, or any other small, thin, but strong piece of metal that you can shove under the hinge pin in order to push it out. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Like me, you could use an old tiny screwdriver, or you could use an old nail or something. It just has to be thin enough to fit in the hole underneath the hinge pin in order for you to be able to pop it out. Last but not least, you're going to need some oil. The specific type of oil is not important. For example, in today's video, I'm going to be using an old oil can from like the 1960s with old motor oil. But you're probably going to be using something like this, some sort of machine oil, or this is like some multi-purpose like sewing machine oil that's from like Home Depot or whatever. So you're probably going to be using something like this. And the specific type of oil isn't that important. There's many different brands of the like disposable multi-purpose oil bottles like I just showed you. And I'm going to be using an old oil can, but that's just me. I'll be probably using something like this. There is one important thing you have to remember, and that's one type of oil you need to avoid. And that is WD-40. A lot of people will be, let's use WD-40 to fix the squeaking door. And that would work initially. After a relatively short amount of time, the squeaking will come back. And that's because WD-40 is not actually a lubricant. It's a cleaner. So when you spray it on a hinge, it might work briefly and loosen it up, but the squeaking's going to eventually come back and actually come back relatively quickly. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of the squeaking for the long run. As you can see, you can do this with some pretty simple stuff. Now, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, let's start. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your old nail or thin screwdriver in my case, put it under the little hole in the bottom of your hinge and hit up with the hammer like this. Like that. Now, as you can see, the pin is loose. And if this hinge was well lubricated, at this point you could probably just pull it out with your hands. But obviously, if you're watching this tutorial, your hinge probably hasn't been lubricated in decades, if ever. So, that's where our pliers come in. we take the pliers and we grab the hinge pin and just sort of wiggle it and pull up at the same time. And eventually, it will come right out. Now, again, this can be quite awkward, especially this one, because this one is so old, it's literally corroded. But as you can see, it comes out. Then, what you want to do is take your oil and put the oil on the hinge pin. And after you lubricate the pin, you want to use your oil and lubricate the hole that the pin went in. Now, before I put the now oiled pin back in the hole, I would like to point out another thing that's nice to have in this project, but not absolutely necessary, is some sort of rag or piece of fabric that you don't care about destroying. The reason you want to have a piece of fabric or a towel or something that you don't care about destroying is so if you get any excess oil, like in places you're not trying to lubricate, like on the door or something, you can wipe it off. But now with our pin lubricated and the hole that it goes into lubricated, we put the pin in the hole. And now, since both surfaces are well oiled, it is very easy to just push it in. But in my case, since my house is so old and all the doors are kind of wonky, I'm going to have to tap it in the last little bit. And there we go. That is one hinge pin. Now, on most doors, on most houses, have 3. It's the exact same process for all 3 hinge pins. So I'm not going to show you me doing this again because it would be redundant because it's literally identical up here as it is down here and down there. So basically, once you know how to do one, you can do all of those. It's the exact same thing. So basically, that's the end of today's video. Before I go, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you like this video and want to subscribe, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. But if you don't feel like subscribing yet, please feel free to check out another one of my videos that our AI overlords say you will like. And with that out of the way, bye!